Say, suppose, let me work with PC2. So PC2, parent-child is there right now, tomorrow, or PC1 is open, so let me do with PC1. So PC1 parent-child, right. PC1 parent-child is there. Now I am showing you with data sets in silos, but your data sets won't be like this and you won't be doing a manual job. Right, you are taking up Datorama because you want automation to happen. So your data will be automated always. But let's say, suppose you get some data which comes in form of Total Connect, you download it from your Google Ads or you give your account manager. Gives you per month. So what do? Is you upload and update the Excel. Say, suppose this is your Excel and you have updated 3 or 4 columns beneath this for 4, 6, and then 5, 6, then 6, 6, then 7, 6, then 8, 6, and you have added in here. And then what do is you want to upload it in the same data stream. So how do you do that? You don't create a separate data stream again and again. But if you go to process and say select a file, drag or drop, so if you just go over here in your folder, I am in my folder. By the way, you don't see my folder, but when I drag it up you will see. Or let me do in this way, so that is clear to you guys. So say, suppose I choose this. So what happens is when I do a process and I do it in the same data stream, my data stream gets updated. So what happens is, it gets updated whenever. I tend to choose anything from another data, but you know if you try to in the same. So, but how is it happening? How is it? How is it allowing me to update the Excel file and upload it in the same data stream? Because we are abiding to the hierarchy of it. Now, if you remove something or if you have added some columns over here and then you go ahead and try to process, no, it won't allow you to do that. Okay. So what it will tell you is like, you need to go back and you need to map it again and you have to have the new columns to be mapped back, and you define the hierarchy in a new manner, which is very similar to creating a data stream. But then, once you introduce this thing to Datorama, what happens is a hierarchy gets created and this hierarchy can be updated, but seldom do we change the hierarchy to change. Say, today you have your Google Ads data, which consists of a date, campaign, ad, group, keywords. And then backed by impressions and clicks. So when you are in the month of, we are in the month of June. When you are in the month of July, what happens is you get your July data. You get your July data, but it is in the same manner, right? So when you have June data, you go ahead and place your July data below. Whatever you do you update your Excel, you update your tables, you update your Redshift table, then you bring in, but what you do is you abide by the hierarchy. Right. So we need to keep this in mind, that whenever we are introducing anything, we are updating our hierarchy. And oh shit, you seen this. I was intending to show you this. I am sorry. So, whenever you introduce so that's what I was saying, you have your Google Ads data, which has a hierarchy, and when you place the data below over here, it basically gives you the next set of, July data. You place below by means of any updation that you make, but you always abide by the hierarchy. That is what is needed. Okay, and we will see that. What we will now see is how the hierarchies are important to us and what happens if we toggle some of the options in the so that we need to update or, change some things in our data. So, as the data model tutorial made us understand that a person cannot have, one height, more than one height at a single point of time. It is the same with media by keys. Even so, if we talk of a media by key, it cannot have one media size in a given time and an entity can have only one value of attribute at any given times. So when you add an entity key, you are also adding a complete set of attributes for the entity. So you add the whenever you. So basically, what it is trying to tell you is, whenever you are introducing any data header or data column, your data abides by it. Your entire hierarchy is abiding by it. So whenever you have introduced your data now, say suppose, today you have introduced your Google Ads data which had media by key, media by name, color tactic, etc. But it didn't have a targeting type. So your raw data didn't have a targeting type in Datorama and you have introduced it. So now suppose you want to update your data with direct. Will it be possible to do without doing anything, without doing any kind of harmonization changes? How will I make change to my raw data, or how will I change because my hierarchy is done? My hierarchy is set. I have introduced my raw data. I have done, logged and done. Now, I am not talking of creating. You will say that, oh, I can go back and I can update my Excel and I can come once again. No, I am not talking of that. What I am talking of is, making change to your raw data. We are not talking of raw data level changes. What we are talking of is in the tool. When you are there and don't think it as an Excel. Think it as, say, servers and clusters of data that you have introduced and you want to update it. When you have your media by targeting type as blank, it will always through a default. It won't be giving you to update any data anymore unless you do something. So yeah, the hierarchy is logged. You cannot update it in there. So then comes the option called Update Entity Attributes when they change option. So what it does is, if you wish to update the existing entity's attribute, you have to check the Update Entities attributes when they change previously and now it is there by default. But what I mean by this is,